So it's December in the Midwest, and we've had really good weather, actually. It's been in the 50s. So for December, it's actually really good. And unfortunately, what that did gave me a chance to just grow in the fuzz. But it also gave me a false sense of security. So my garage was even messier than normal, and I was still driving around the F30, and worse yet, the Mini Cooper had the summer chubbies on it, and so did the E90. So this past weekend, I had to take the summer tires off of both of those cars. Went and actually had to do a mobile tire swap because my son was driving the E90 at the high school, and he was slip sliding all the way there. Changed out the tires in the parking lot, so I took the CSL wheels off and put the stock ones on with some, I believe, Blizzaks. But anyway, so today what I'm going to do is the interior of the E90 is a little worn out. Not to mention it's got the wood grain, which I've never been a big fan of. So the E30 I had a very Spartan interior. Loved it. It was great. Perfect driver's car. No frills, but everything was just pointed and geared towards the driver. I loved it. It was really nice. E36 I had, also nice interior, but it did have the wood grain, which I've never been a big fan of. To me, wood grain kind of screams 82 Ford Granada, so I wasn't a big fan of that. The E90 has the wood grain also in it, so that's what I'm going to be swapping out today, or at least trying to get rid of or actually cover is what I'm going to do. Here's the interior of the E90 that I've got. I don't have the iDrive system in this one, so it's got the wood, and I'm not a big fan, like I said before. So what I'm going to be doing is removing this piece of the wood, the one in the center console. There's one on each door, front and rear, and then there's one over side vent on the other side of the steering wheel. And again, there's one here. Alright, went to Harbor Freight, picked up some cheap tools to remove the trim. I'm going to start in the back first, and I'm going to use this piece here. I'm just going to get up behind here if I can. Pop it out. Whoa. Really popped out. Okay, so there's the piece off. Now on this, looks like there's a piece up here broken. So what I might have to do, I don't know if you can see this, I'm gonna have to replace this piece here. I might just swap it out for now, just to get it back going once I've wrapped these. But so I'm gonna go ahead and remove the other piece on the other side like this, and then I'll resume the video, because you guys don't need to see both sides of the same thing. I'll resume the video when I get into the front. I'm going to try to do this while holding the camera, which should be a bit interesting. What I've done so far is get behind here with the pry tool. Got that pried away. And then I'm going to just pull straight out. And so over here, you see the ductwork comes with it. Well, there's going to be wires behind the start button and this piece here. So I'm going to set the camera down for a second, get this, and I'll show you how I took it out once I get it out. Alright, so I've got the pieces now out. And there we go. What I did is, this is the center switch assembly in here. There are 2 ribbon cables, as you can see, or two cable connectors rather, sorry. And they go in here. Now that's pretty easy once you're getting ready to reassemble it. They're different sizes. So the big one goes into the big slot. Obviously the small one goes in the small slot. On the back side of this is your start button. There's also a connector, and this one actually has a ribbon cable. So just make sure when you're pulling it out, sorry for the sniffles, it's cold out here. So when you're pulling it out of the dash, don't pull it too far because those wires are still going to be connected. So what I did is I rotated it a little bit enough just to get it free, and then turned it down, and then disconnected that. Found it easier to actually pop this center switch panel out first, out of here, with the trim still on. So once I did that, then I could get those wires free, push those kind of back in there, and then before I vinyl wrap it, I'm going to have to take a screwdriver and pop the ductwork off the back of this. It's got some nuts on it as well, and then get the start switch out of there. So I'll be doing that when I prep it to wrap it with vinyl. Alright, with the dashboard out, or not the dashboard, but the wood grain above the dashboard, I took the passenger side front door off already, but I'll do it over here on the video so you guys can see. It's the same concept as the back doors. What I'm going to do, I'm going to separate the boot. Just going to pull that up. And I think you should just be able to get up under here and try to pull it off. There it goes. Take the ashtray out. And I think there's probably a light or a electrical connection. Show you what I got going on here. Okay, so pulled this off. I'm pushing the boot back down into it. Pulling that up. And then there's, electrical connection back here. So I'm going to disconnect that. And then we'll have all the interior pieces out. Okay? So to disconnect this, looks like we've got this cord here. We should be able to just disconnect like that, and it's free.